Hello and welcome to my guide on going from 0 to 20 total books turned in for the Spellpower rune. Best in slot for fire mages currently in phase 2 of Season of Discovery. This is an alliance specific route that I came up with, specifically for those who are starting with 0 of these books found before. Before we begin, let's talk about what you should know before getting started. Firstly, I would highly suggest you do not attempt to do this if you are solo and lower than level 32. I did this at level 32 and found some of these books to be very difficult to grab based on the level of the mobs nearby some of the locations. The use of teleports make this route extremely more efficient, therefore I would definitely grab all 3 of the main city teleports before beginning, and don't forget to grab some teleport reagents before you start. Thirdly, keep in mind that this will definitely take at least 2 to 3 hours to complete, even while trying to be as efficient as possible.
You what?
Collecting all 20 of these books just simply requires a ton of traveling around the world, and for that reason, I would highly suggest not doing this at level 32 like I did, but instead maybe waiting until you're level 40 with a mount. That will make this grind feel a lot less painful. Also, let's talk about the logistics of this rune. There's 24 total books, except 3 of them are Horde only. That means that there's only 21 that we can actually acquire, and we need a total of 20 of them. The book that I'm deciding to skip is located in the Swamp of Sorrows. This is the only book that requires you to kill the mobs in the area, and I'm pretty sure these mobs are like level 35 or 36 or something. So it would have been annoying for me to have to kill these to get a loot drop for this book. Every other book is possible just to be looted off the ground, so I decided to skip the one in Swamp of Sorrows for that reason. So without further ado, let's talk about the route that I decided to take. First off, I started in Ironforge, and I grabbed the book from the library. Next, I took the flight path from Ironforge to Minethil Harbor, and walked to this point here in the middle of the excavation site. The second book is within this clay pot. Our next stop is Loch Modan. I walked back to the flight path in Minethil Harbor and took the flight to Loch Modan. But if you don't have the flight path for whatever reason, you could just walk there from this second book point. The third book is located here in the inn at Loch Modan, and the fourth book is located in the northeastern part of this zone, located in the back of this cave. The fifth book is an easy walk south from Loch Modan into Badlands, down this crypt located here. And now, from this point, we will teleport to Stormwind and walk to the sixth book, which is located on top of this tower in Elwynn Forest. The seventh book is a walk southwest into the northwestern part of the Duskwood zone, down this crypt here, and into the northern section of the bottom floor. Now we will walk further west into Westfall and grab the 8th book from inside this house in Moonbrook. At this point, if you have the Booty Bay flight path, I would suggest taking the Westfall flight to Booty Bay now, or you could simply just walk into Stranglethorn Vale from Westfall, following the river here. The 9th book is located outside of the Crystal Vein Mine. The entrance into this area is just off the right of the sharp bend in the path here. This book is located directly next to a high-level basilisk, so I had to wait until the player was killing them before I was able to loot it, because I was only level 32. You can try to polymorph the basilisks if you're a lower level, but if it resists twice, you're probably just dead. After grabbing this book, I would suggest you just die simply in Spirit Res to save some time, and then we're going to take the boat out of Booty Bay to Ratchet. But of course, if you don't have the flight path in Booty Bay, definitely grab it first. Now, once we get to Ratchet, the 10th book is simply located inside this house next to Desloace. And then after walking out of Ratchet, the 11th book is just north, on top of this large platform inside of the control room. The 12th book will be a walk west into Wailing Caverns, outside of the instance to the dungeon. And then the 13th book is walking out of Wailing Caverns into the beginning of the Stonetalon zone coming from the Barrens, in this hut here. The 14th book is a walk from Stonetalon all the way into Desloace, located in the center of the main building in the middle of this fortress here. At this point, you have a couple options. I would suggest that you walk to the Desloace flight path and fly to Theramore, but if you don't have these flight paths, you could also just simply teleport to Ironforge, fly to Minethil Harbor, and take the boat to Theramore. The 15th book is located in Dustwallow Marsh, north of Theramore, in the middle of this Murloc camp. And because I was only level 32, I had to get really lucky with a Frost Nova here to loot the book. The 16th book will be a walk out of Dustwallow Marsh into Thousand Needles, and in the main building in the middle of the Dark Cloud Pinnacle. You can get up to this point by walking through all of the wooden bridges, starting at the very bottom next to this blue totem pole. At this point, if you don't have the flight path in the western part of this zone, I would suggest go grabbing it now. Either way, once you get there, we will be teleporting to Ironforge anyways, and flying to Arathi Highlands. You could also just walk north from Minethor Harbor if you don't have the Arathi Highlands flight point. The 17th book is in the eastern part of this zone, outside of a hut here, and walking north is where we get our 18th book, guarded by a level 36 ogre. And the 19th book is a simple walk west into the Silverpine Forest area, inside of a church in the Amber Mill zone. And after we grab this book, we're going to simply teleport to Darnassus and fly to Aberdeen and walk north to get to our 20th book, which is located down the stairs here. Once we grab our final book, we can then teleport to Stormwind and turn all of these in right where we end up after teleporting, and get ourselves the Icy Veins rune, which we will probably never use, as well as, of course, the Spellpower rune. I hope you found this route helpful. Thanks for watching.